Well, what, Vicky working?
Yeah, she had to work.
Yeah,
She had to work.
yeah,
See, the state got off yesterday because Christmas Day was on Sunday,
yeah.
and then we get off this coming Friday because of New Year's Eve. And I
Oh.
just figured, well, I got Monday and Friday off already. I must take the other three and make a week of it. So I did. But anyway, what have you been up to recently?
Who, me?
Yeah, you turned 79.
Yeah. I'm doing all right, just wore out. Now, other than being wore out, I'm doing very well, I reckon. I still get up and get around on my own power.
Oh, there's something to be said for that. I went and visited Papa Carmichael last night.
Mm-hmm.
He broke a leg or something, and he's moving mighty slow.
What, did you fall? Or?
Yeah, I guess so. It's been that he won't go to the doctor. It's been that way for
What?
For about a year, I think, and just gets worse and worse. He can stand up and walk.
Yeah, well, the little boy son will shit fire. You mean you think he broke his leg and won't go to the doctor?
I know it. And he said the doctor told Mama Carmichael said it's going to get so bad where he's going to need a hip replacement or something like that.
Yeah.
And he said when it gets that bad he'll go, but he won't go now. I don't know why, but he's moving mighty slow, taking little big baby steps.
Yeah, but where does he live, huh?
They live over on Clifton Road.
Yeah.
You know where that is out in Nineveh? They live back there.
Well, is it the end of the little road that goes across there or not? That's where you live, way back here.
Oh, they live on that same road, but they live up the road now.
Oh.
They live closer to town now.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
They live, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. But
It's what you come out the drive back into the house. I don't know whether it was straight across or whether you had to veer to the left just a little, but there was a road. You could come out and pull right across that road, the Clifton Road, and go on to the Jenna Little Road. Comes into
okay.
Lawrenceburg.
Yeah, they don't live there no more. They moved up the road a little ways.
Mm-hmm.
A little ways. But my Aunt Bet, when she first got married, she lived in her old house for a little while, I think. I know what you're talking about, but they don't live there no more. Well, Papa, I come to find out, I'm doing a little family history here or whatever. Come to find out what your dad's name was and what your mama's name was.
Well, my dad's name was John Myers McCoy Chilton.
John Myers,
Yeah,
children.
but everybody, they just called him Coy. That's what he went by. But kind of like Billy's boy, Coy, the squirt.
Yeah, the little one. The squirt. Now,
And then my mother, she was a housing. Ruby Alice was her name. Yeah, housing before she married Dad.
Now, how many brothers and sisters did you have? You
Well,
got one brother, I know.
No, I had two brothers,
Two brothers? Okay.
Earl and John.
Earl and John. Which one's oldest?
Earl,
Earl?
yeah,
Did you have any sisters?
yeah.
Did you?
I had three.
Three?
I had three sisters. John had three sisters, and Earl had three.
I mean, there's 9 girls in your...
Now Annie J was older than me.
Now, are you the oldest boy?
Yeah.
You're the oldest boy?
I'm the oldest boy living that carried my granddaddy's name. Now I've got, of course, my sister. Now she was older than me, but she married Curtis Chapman, and then Betty Lois. That was Uncle Bud's girl, Chilton, but she married Bruce Crook. Worked at the post office in Lawrenceburg for years. And then he retired, and they say he died about, I reckon about 6 or 7 years ago. Something like that. And then B.R. Thompson, he was oldest of the grandchildren. Of course, see, his mother was a sister to Dad. And of course, he didn't carry the Chilton's name.
Yeah.
And so I'm the oldest one that carries my granddaddy's name.
I see. All right. Now, how far? You told me last year, I think it was. You went to school with one of them UK ball players or something like that. What was that? Or played with him when he was little. I forget what his name was now. Went to Kavanaugh High School. Now, did you go to Kavanaugh High School?
No, I didn't go to high school, no.
Okay. How far did you go?
Well, until they burnt the schoolhouse down. That's the way they got me out.
Where did you go to school at? Where did you go?
You know where the heathen cemetery is over here?
Uh-huh.
Well, now, you go up the hill to front of the church and just past it to where you go into the cemetery. Well, there's a one-room schoolhouse. And it was on back about, I reckon the front of the school was 20 or maybe 30 foot from where you go into the cemetery. And just set back off from the rock wall. Or it might have been as far as my foot over to the stove. Where you know what I mean? You could go all around the schoolhouse. Mm-hmm. That's where I started, and I reckon I went, I don't know what it was, 2.5, something like 2.5 years, something like that. And I moved up into Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Possum College School, short school, Possum College, and but there's not too many schools out in the country that taught Latin.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
You learned Latin?
Huh?
Did you learn Latin?
Yeah, a little of it. It's big Latin though. Is that picking up what I'm saying too?
Yeah.
Well, you all just told me. I said some things a while ago that some people might not want to hear it.
Oh, that's okay. You ain't said nothing real bad. Didn't offend me then.
Well,
Probably nobody will see it but me. Well, I don't know about that. Somebody might.
no, it was what it was on that where we would talk, whatever the word is, you leave the first off, take it on, and then put the first letter with the A on to it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know that, I think. Kind of like...
Kind of like foot,
Uh-huh.
foot pie, F-A, pie, foot pie, eel high, head high.
Heel and head, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
everybody button by,
What?
everybody button by, belly button. Huh?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Those kids and the teacher couldn't understand it. She didn't know it. Those kids would get to talking that boys and girls together. She'd let us talk a little and make us learn.
Now, Billy got out of, he graduated high school, and he go to Mercer County or Anderson County.
Let's see, I reckon maybe he went on to Mercer County.
Did
I
y'all
reckon
move right in there
in
somewhere?
there. Well, they had the high school here at Salvasi.
Oh,
And then after that, and I don't know whether he graduated from that or whether it was after that they done away with that and consolidated.
yeah, merged.
The Mercer County.
I see.
School.
I see.
He didn't get his diploma right then. He had to take some other courses after he got out of school. Of course, I reckon I don't know where, but it's a correspondence part.
Yeah.
Where they mailed it in, he got his diploma, but didn't get it first-handed. He got it second-handed. Well, and in BH, or the same way with him.
Now, did he go to Salvasa High School, BH? Is that where he went to school?
Yeah.
Now, what about Pat? You go there too?
Well, they both went there, but I don't know now whether Billy and Pat graduated from here at South Ice there, or whether
Mercer
it's
County.
after they went to Mercer on it.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how long you been living here in this house?
Let's see, since January the 12th, 1968.
You got down to the day, huh? January, you be here almost 21 years then, ain't you?
Well, you see, my last wife, now your grandmother,
Elizabeth, right?
yeah, no, Emma was your grandmother.
Yeah, but Elizabeth was your last wife, right?
Yeah, Elizabeth was the last
Yeah.
wife. Now, see, the house here belonged to her, the house and place, to Elizabeth when we married.
I see.
And then when she died, well, she had a will, and I get to stay here until I die or remarry. And of course, Ollie Bowen was, well, he wrote the will. I had one, and then Elizabeth had one too. But it was on her will that was reading, I get to stay here as long as I live until I remarry. And Billy asked him, said, Mr. Bowen says, what if he shacks up for somebody? Oh, he says, that don't count. Has to be on a piece of paper.
Well, you got any in mind?
Huh?
You got any in mind? Are you out there looking?
No. So now, let's see, what is the date?
Date's
27?
Uh-huh.
Elizabeth's been dead 2 years. Let's see, September, October, November. 2 years and 3 months today since she died. That's Elizabeth. And I'm still here. No, I haven't had a date or nothing back on it.
I see.
Oh, I can talk to anybody. You can make them what color they are. I can talk to them, but no.
You want to remain single.
A woman asked me the other day.
Don't forget this thing's on now.
Huh?
Don't forget this thing's on.
Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
said, a woman asked me the other day if I want someone to go with. And she said it was Ken to her husband. Said that she don't want to marry. Said she don't want to marry again. But just someone could get out and take a ride with, or go somewhere and eat dinner or supper or something, just to have someone.
Yeah, just for the company.
I told her, I said, she hasn't seen me yet. I said, by God, if she was to see me, she might turn and run.
Oh, mercy. Now, you used to live over on the road that Billy lives on now, right?
Yeah, the house just passed that. Of course, I still own the place out there.
Oh, do you?
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know
Yeah, I give Billy his lot, and I give Pat one, and I give B.H. one. And of course, Elizabeth, they said something about it, and I asked her about it. Of course, she had to sign the deed, you see, as after we married. She says, yeah, I'll sign it anytime. If you want to give them a lot, yeah. No, please, yeah. Wasn't no trouble in that at all. And of course, this place here is left to her son. And he lives around the corner, a little piece, in England.
In England? Really? My goodness.
Yeah.
And what was her name before you married her? What's her son's last name?
Robinson,
Robinson?
James Irvin Robinson.
Huh.
He married the English girl while he was in service.
Oh, I see. That's why it is over there.
Yeah. Of course, he was here. Of course, he's been in England and in Germany. I think he was stationed in Germany some for a while. And then he was back, me and Elizabeth married. He was down in, if I can think of it. I can't think of the name right now, but it's, we went down Western Kentucky Parkway, I don't know whether you've been down that way or not.
Oh
But
yeah.
we went across the Ohio River into Illinois and then back, went a little piece and right back across the river then into across the Mississippi into, I don't know,
Missouri.
I reckon, yeah, I think that was Missouri across there. Went on across and then hit the highway from now on back south of that. What is the next state there? I can't.
South of Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas, I believe.
Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Blytheville, Arkansas. He was stationed down there. And then it was in, we met 12th of January. And then, but we went down to see him though. That might have been before we married that we went down to see them. And then come back when we got married. They come in for Christmas. They was here. And then went back. I don't know if it was before we married. We went down to see them or not. But anyway, we come back. We were left Blytheville coming back toward Missouri. Of course, there wasn't no speed limit. I reckon I was driving 80 miles an hour. There was a big sign, about 8 foot tall and 6 foot across, set up off the road, and he was going to have to leave. And no, that was after we married. We went down for to see them, and she was upset, kind of crying because he was going to have to go back to Germany. That's where he went when he left Blytheville. And I was looking at her, and I reckon she was crying when we got to the sign, and I didn't see it where it would turn off. And we went right straight on down through Missouri toward St. Louis.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think I have ever drove as far as I did that time and not hit the filling station. We finally come to it. There was a store and it had one tank, a gas tank in front. We stopped. I got the answer to the phone.
Oh, okay.
You want to turn that off?
Now let's see, where were we? You were lost in Missouri, going to St. Louis.
And so we stopped at the store. There was a filling station there. I stopped and asked the fella, and he said be closest to come across from there into Illinois, across the Mississippi River, into Illinois, and then come back up through there into Kentucky. But I backtracked on back to where I failed turning off. And of course there was a place there. I believe we drove at least, I believe we drove 15 miles past where I was supposed to turn off. I know that I had missed it.
Uh-huh.
Because Liz was sitting over there, because Jimmy was going to have to leave, go back to Germany, you know. I didn't talk a whole lot. I just drove on. I don't know whether she knows back on it with passed or not. And we come on back. We turned off and went just a little piece. I don't know whether we stopped, whether they had to get gas, or whether we stopped and got something to eat or something to drink, or of course we hadn't been heading from Blytheville back up there. I reckon we'd come maybe 25 or 30 miles, something like that. I don't know. And there was a woman in there. I said something about that I missed my turn off. She says, "Oh, don't feel bad about that." Says, "I travel all the time, and sometimes I really make boo-boos." Yeah, says, "Don't feel bad about it." Says, "I travel all the time, and sometimes I overrun where I'm going and go out of the way and come back." Said, "Don't feel bad about it."
That's true. I've gotten lost many times. I just moved here a while back. We bought a house in Frankfurt, a little bitty house, and the other day I caught myself, got off of work, and I drove straight to the apartment. Right. I hadn't lived there in about a month now. And I just got in that pattern of open, like, where am I going? I don't live here anymore. I had to go somewhere else. But I tell you, I moved around so many times. Vicky and I have been married 3 years. This is the 7th time we've moved. The 7th different place we've, like,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we live in the same town, but we moved from,
Yeah,
apartment.
one location to another.
So.
Well, now,
It's easy to get lost.
let's see, I don't know, it was something. I forget now what it was. I was with Billy. And where did y'all live? That's before you moved this last time.
Uh-huh.
Back out, turned out toward the hospital.
Yeah, yeah.
Went up and turned back in there, and he left something hanging on the doorknob. I forget now what it was.
A note or something like that?
No,
Or
it was, I don't know what it was.
it wasn't,
I don't know, it was roast ears or
it was,
it was ripe tomatoes.
it was,
There was something.
yeah. I
Had
can't
it
remember
hung
what
it on the doorknob.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, I was with
Was
him.
it pears?
Huh?
Was it pears?
Paris, that's what it was.
Pears, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that. I know
Yeah.
where, and didn't say who it was from either. I said, who in the world is bringing pears on my door?
Yeah, he had been over to my baby sister's.
Where does she
Yeah.
live?
You go from here and go on out by Billy's,
Uh-huh.
and then turn right and go on around. I reckon it's from Billy's 3 miles on out there from there, on back out that way. But I don't know. I think she's up here at Ruby Francis's now, her daughter's. See, she's been in the hospital.
Oh,
She
really?
was in the hospital while BH was in there and had his had his operation and then died. And because at the time while he was in there, she was in the hospital at Harrisburg, and BH in the hospital at Lexington. And then Pat was coming up by Oliver to go to the hospital for explanatory operation today. And it had me, I think I just went around in circles.
From one time to the next. I tell you, you've been a sick family recently. Papa, tell me, how did you meet my grandma?
Huh?
How did you meet my grandma, Emma?
Oh, you mean what?
How did you meet her? Do you remember when you first met her?
Oh, I don't know where she come down to. Well, she come down to my cousin. Of course, now let's see. No, yeah, my cousin's mother, it used to run the store up here, right up here on the right, where, well, it's a liquor store that's been sold since then, but it was Cynthia, and her mother, yeah, Cynthia's mother was a sister to Emma's uncle by marriage. That's the way it was. And I don't know whether she was down for to see them or whether I met her at a party, where they have these moonlight parties, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes it happened in the summertime, moonlight, and sometimes it'd just be a house party in the homes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I met her that way.
And how old was you whenever y'all got married?
You mean how old was I?
Yeah, well, how old was she too? Was she older than you? Or was she
No,
younger?
no, she Emma was younger than me. I was born in 1909, and she was born in 1913, January the 16th. And then my last wife, now my first wife was from the 16th of January until the 27th of September, older than my last wife.
Oh, really?
Of course, my first wife, she died in 58. November the 14th in 58. And then me and Elizabeth got married then after that, after your grandmother died. Of course, I was batching and things, and then when Dad died, my mother didn't want to leave home, and I was batching anyway, so I went and stayed with Mother until she died. And she died in 66. Dad died in 63, I believe it was. Then when Mother died, well, I still stayed in the house where, of course, after Mother died, when Dad died, he left everything to Mother her lifetime. Then after she died, we had to sell everything and settle up the estate. And the people who bought the house as the home place where to live when they died, they wanted me to stay there because nobody in the house, people come along, throw rocks and break out the windows and everything. So I just stayed. All I had to do was pay for the electricity. Of course, they had electric heat in the house and things. You know what I mean? I didn't have to pay no rent or anything. They wanted me to stay. And of course, if I went home, I'd had bought coal or something because it kept warm there. Well, I had my place rented out anyway then. Of course, there was a man and his wife. I don't know whether he had 2 or 3 kids. Anyway, he had a well there in the yard. Well, they picked up a piece of little rock. It was a drill well. You know what I mean. About so big around. They dropped rocks, pieces of brick, whole brick if they could find them. Even got some wooden stakes and things and dropped down in it. They burnt about 3 tons of coal that they had. Didn't pay for that. And left on there about $40 on rent, where they had the house rented. So I come out the little end of the horn that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the way some people will do you.
Yeah,
know.
That's true.
Yeah, they just.
That's true.
There's some people they just out by they think that the world owes them something. Yeah.
That's true.
And a lot of them, I think, they do it a purpose. Yeah, it wasn't born that way; it just grows on them.
Yeah, that's true. Us, like these people that they'll be on welfare and they notice the money's getting tight, so they'll go and have another baby just so they get some more money,
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of them too, son. Back over that man and the wife, and where they give in, and as long as they're living together, they can't get on welfare with him there. He will leave. They don't get a divorce, but they're separated. The woman gets the kids and gets on welfare.
Yeah.
And then he'll come back and live with them. Or even if they get a divorce, he'll come back and they still live together, and he will live off of the welfare, his wife and the kids. Back on the jaw. Yeah.
Something messed up somewhere.
They got it messed up some. Now, you take way back years ago, they had the WPA.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And they had it on there, we piddle around. Now, they killed a lot of time, but they had to be out there for to draw it.
Yeah.
They had to be out there by put in the time there for to get paid,
Yeah, I agree. Or to go back to that.
Yeah, they always go back towards the ones on welfare, put them out here along the roads and let them cut bushes. They get all the bushes cut, then get them a mowing blade and let them mow the weeds, the grass and stuff down.
Who was that? Is that Roosevelt did the WPA? Was that him, the one that started doing that?
When the what?
When the WPA, when they first started that, wasn't that Roosevelt that started that?
Yeah, President Roosevelt.
Yeah, I thought so. That's a good idea. I wonder how come they stopped that.
Well, I don't know. They got that, and it wasn't where wasn't enough people on the welfare getting that. they had to change it and then put it on welfare. They take the WPA off and put it welfare. You see, like I was, there wasn't many women working then.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Just a man.
Yeah.
And by God, you couldn't hire one of them out in the country here, working in the country, because they could draw more on the WPA
Then they could, yeah.
in about 3 days out of the week, I think, that you worked. They could draw more than a fellow on the farm couldn't afford to pay them that much. By God, to work a whole week. That is 6 days. And by God, while they was on that, they wouldn't come and work a day for you. They might think that they'd cut off 1 day on the WPA, you know. And they just wouldn't work for you. They'd work the three days or whatever it was. They would work that to get that money, you know. And I don't think they'd even hit it as a snake. But they might have if it had been a poisonous snake. That it's not that you take a lot of snakes. If they see you, they'll run from you. But now they say a copperhead don't run from you much, or of course there's not too many of them around here. It's just down along the river in the cliffs and things where they are. And I've never seen a rattlesnake around here at all.
They say copperhead is about it around here. I think copperhead is just about the only poisonous snake there is.
Well, now there's some water moccasins.
Is there?
Yeah.
I heard there's a lot of them down. I think it's water. Maybe it's cottonmouths. I don't know.
But now
down
that's
near Paducah.
yeah. Now listen, you cottonmouth wherever he is, he's poisonous wherever he is. I don't care if he's here in the United States or England. Now there's some of them that they're soft or water moccasin, but if they open the mouth up, it's real white inside. It looks like cotton. Now they're poison. Now there's somebody they call water moccasins where they live around the water and in the water, some, you know. They're not. They might be poison some, but nothing like the cottonmouth. Okay. Now I've heard that. I've never seen the cottonmouth. Now I've seen some.
I've only seen a copperhead. Only I've ever seen it. I don't think I've ever seen it, except for in like a, in a jar or something.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Or a container.
I've killed. Well, one of them is up the Dix River Dam. Never was up there, I don't reckon. But we was up. Well, you've heard of the Dix River Dam. Yeah. Of course, it's got the turbo things in there to make electricity, and. We was up there one time before me and your grandmother married. And of course, Frances, my youngest sister, they live right up the road here. You can see it. It's 1, 2, 3. It's the 4th house on up. Well, if you go up, there's trucks and things working around there because Reuben Francis' son, he works on trucks and things. He's a mechanic where he works there, and they got some stuff sitting around, some to work on, and some not worth fixing, and some that he's got ain't been fixed up a little. I think he's got an old school bus up there that he bought from somewhere.
4th house up on the left, huh?
Hmm?
The 4th house up on the left?
No, it's on the right.
On the right?
Yeah, on the right from here.
I see. Now, what's her last name? What's her?
Wilson.
Wilson.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, you ever been around Lawrenceburg and seen the red Ford, 4-wheel drive, big wheels on it and setting up? Well, he come down here, it's been about 4 years ago, I reckon, had snow on it real bad. And Reuben Francis called Elizabeth and asked if she needed anything from the store. Said, yeah, I could use 2 or 3 little things. Said, well, Keith is going to the store. That's for his mother, you see. In that 4-wheel drive. It was high enough. I crawled up in that thing just like a groundhog. I reached in, got a hold of something, then put my knees there and crawled up in it. Then when I got ready to get out, I got down on my knees and got a hold of that and backed out. Yeah, that's the way I got him out of it.
High truck.
Of course, it was snow was deep. You know what I mean, the things that way. course, we was done without them. Without it, it had to have been something we had to have. And of course, I could have walked. I could have walked from here down to Quick Mart down there. This is the Toll Plaza. I could have walked down there and got it and walked back.
Even when it's cold and snow, it's still far piece to walk whenever it's cold like that.
Well, you see, though, you start out if you're walking and it's cold. If it's not too cold, you walk. If it gets a little colder and you're going on foot, you see, you start out, if it ain't too cold, you walk. If it gets a little colder, you trot. And then if it gets real cold, by golly, you run just hard as you can. That keeps your body, you see, that gets you hot. Now you can take a run in the summertime and then the sweat will run off of you.
Yeah. Oh, mercy. Well, Papa, what'd you used to do in your spare time? Did you ever play any ball, any kind? Or, like Billy pitches horseshoes. Well, he doesn't do it. He does it in that tournament every year at Salvasa. Do you ever pitch horseshoes or anything? Or?
Oh, we used to pitch horseshoes. Of course, that is, it's just if we had company or something, for it to be somebody for that. But by God, you take on back when I was on the farm, milking cows, I had something to do all the time. I didn't have
no free time.
I didn't have no time to take off and go fishing or nothing. I only had to work. Yeah. You take a fellow gets out here if he don't inherit some money or something. If he works and makes a living and able to save up a little bit of money, and then when he gets old enough to retire, he's done wore out, he don't feel like enjoying it.
Yeah.
Well, now, there's some people, of course, you take where that way back years ago, by golly, you take way back years ago, by golly, the only ones that got the high school education was where the people that inherited a little money or where I have an uncle, now his wife's daddy died and things, and she inherited a little money and some land for to go with it and things, and so all three of his kids, by God, went to high school. But now you take us, John, my baby brother, he was the only one that went to high school. The others, by God, we
didn't have the time or the money to.
No, didn't. No, that's right. By God, we had to work.
Yeah.
No, all the further I got in school was sixth grade. I taken the sixth grade, what I got of that. Didn't get all the way through that. I taken the sixth grade before taking the fifth.
Huh. Did you have one of those one-room schoolhouses or whatever?
Yeah, one room.
1 year and fifth grade the next year?
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't know how it was. That is before that I got on up into school. You know what I mean? Now you take on the primer, first, second, third, fourth grade like that. Well, they take that on, but after it got up something like that, if it's just one or two in the grade, when it got up for the fifth grade, by those years you teach the sixth. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they put the ones take the fifth, they put them in with the sixth grade, you know, where they have that. And then the next year, by God, he went back, he jumped back, and I taken the fifth grade after taking part of the sixth.
Yeah. I had to do it, I reckon. I guess I had to back then, but didn't have many students, I reckon.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you take way back when I was young, or growing up. It's a little joke. There was some men that had them about 7 inches long, and there wasn't a lady in the land but what would take and hold it in her hand. Now, what do you think it was? Now, you don't put your mind in the gutter. I asked a woman that one time when she started laughing. I said, now listen, get your mind out of the gutter. It's not what you're thinking. I told her, I said, there wasn't very many women working back when I was that age. And she said, well, tell me what it is. I said, $100 bill. She says, yeah, I'd hold one of them too. Yeah, but you know what I mean. And that was people where that they was getting up older in age, kind of like I am now. There wasn't too many $100 bills back then. But you know what I mean, it's a $100 bill.
Yeah.
And I know you could find a woman who wouldn't like to hold a $100 bill in her hand, or even own it. But even if she didn't earn it, she'd like to hold it and look at it.
Yeah, just feel it for a while.
Yeah, and that woman, she's a laughed and tickled her all over. Of course, I knowed her. And
Oh, mercy. Well, whenever you got out of school, what did you do? Did you go work on the farm?
Yeah.
Is that what you did? Now, you used to work down here at the toll plaza, right? Or the
Yeah.
toll booth, right?
Yeah.
How long did you do that?
3 years and 7 months.
3 years and 7 months.
Uh-huh.
Now, did you farm up until that point? Is that what you
No,
did?
I was in Louisville and worked at carpenter work back during the war.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and well, I went to Louisville. I don't know what it was. Let's see, what year was it in? I was going from Louisville to Illinois, down to Carbondale job down there.
Mm-hmm.
The day they bombed Pearl Harbor. Well, now I had been in Louisville about a year before that, and I was working. Well, this part of the time I was working carpentry, but before that I was working just as a laborer. And then on back in the 30s, in I think it's about September 1933, went and started the housekeeping in Louisville, worked at the coal yard. I worked in the yard, scraping coal up and to find the slack part and keep the rock and stuff from getting in. So where they would sell the coal, the slack parts, where it went through a thing down to Sealback Hotel, make steam, steam heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in boilers for steam for the heat, and where they had that at the hotel, they had there, and then they had pipes running to other buildings and things where they sold the steam for the heat in them. And then after I was there for a while, well, of course they take coal out and dump it on down in the alley or out in front down in the gutter, and I'd wheel that to the house and put the coal in the basement. Done that. And then after I was there, I reckon about 8 months, then I started driving the truck, hauling coal that way. And was getting rich too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what do you reckon I was making? I was
I don't know. What year are we talking here? About 19...
as 33 and then in 34.
I don't know. What, $100 a week?
Huh?
$100 a week? More than that? I don't know. Back in the 30s, I don't know. How much money did you make?
$14.50
$14.50
a week.
A week.
Yeah. And by God, if it's busy, by God, you work all day on Saturday. Now, if you get caught up and wasn't, you get off at dinner on Saturday. That'd be 5 days and a half. $14.50 a week.
Golly. Working your butt off too, huh?
Yeah, you can imagine. You lived in haul coal and nothing, did you? I've been out by God working that coal would come in. You couldn't tell me Well, if you'd heard me talk and used to it, you'd know who it was. But by God, I looked as black as, pretty near as black as any nigger you ever seen. Of course, it's dusty and stuff, you know, in that, and then you get hot by God and sweating. Of course, a lot of times for to get this cold, they'd have that put in the summertime. It's a little cheaper then than it was in the winter, and those have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be putting the coal in, and you'd be hot and sweating, just a little bit of wind blows that dust on. Yeah, I'd look just like the other niggers.
So when did you move back to Lawrenceburg or Harrisburg?
What,
How long did you stay in Louisville?
oh, you mean that was the first time?
Yeah.
Well, let's see, I don't know, let's see, on that, I was working there. Work got scarce. And I went in back, I worked down at the Ford plant for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they was making, I believe it was 34 Fords. Of course, that is in the latter part, no, it wasn't the 34 easy, it's the 35. That it had to be in 34. And then, of course, that is in the part of the year that they come on in the fall of the year, you know. And I worked at the Ford plant in the duck pond, what they called it.
The duck pond?
Yeah, it's where they build these cars, and the body parts, they put a prime coat on it, and they take and sand that prime coat down to where it's like on your hand. You don't see the little dimple where the hairs are, you know, little pits, kind of like orange peel.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, rough.
Uh-huh.
And back then take a wet sandpaper, a wet sponge in one hand and sandpaper in the other, and rub and cut that orange peel off where it would be smooth, wouldn't be no little pits in it.
Uh-huh. I see.
I worked in there for a while. I was making $5 a day in there.
That's pretty good then, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, back then. Back always, that was, I reckon that.
That's about double your coal job, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's $30 a week if you worked on Saturdays. You work on Saturdays?
I don't remember. It might have been where if it was kind of behind on schedule or something like it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Might have worked on Saturday. I don't remember whether it worked on Saturday or not.
That's still a lot better than the
Yeah,
coal
the
job.
25, the 5 days, the 25. And you take, when I was talking about working at the coal yard on that, I have worked as high as 16 hours a day in it.
And
They didn't pay no
it
overtime.
didn't matter, huh? You got
But where-
paid $14.50 no matter
But where
what.
it was on that was that I worked that way, it was where they'd have an old truck, they'd take the bed off of that and buy a new truck with the chassis, and they take this old bed off of the old truck and put it on the new one. That's what it's doing. That I don't think it was about while I was working. I don't think it was about but 3 or 4 days that I worked a whole lot overtime, other than about 10 hours a day. Because we worked 10 hours a day then. There wasn't no such thing as 8 hours a day. Now I think they actually went to the Ford plant. I think that was 8 hours. Because they worked shifts on that.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you worked at the Ford plant. What did you do after you left the Ford plant? How long did you stay there?
I come back to the country.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Went back to the country.
Yeah, come back to the country and farm again till they come up. That is before they well, I don't know. It was before before they bombed the other. They was having war. It was in I reckon it must have been in 40.
And you went back to Louisville in 40?
Yeah, that's when I worked on in carpentry and defense.
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
and
yeah.
all that.
Okay, I see.
Mhm.
Now, how long did you do that? Carpenter work?
Well, Well, now, I've done some farming and built some and built some barns around, and I don't know. Well, I built the house out where the uh, no, that's up here at the top of the hill in Turnbull out. They had bought some land out there and went to the mountains and got some lumber and things, and built a 2-room house for us when they come back. Yeah, I come back from down in Louisville. I reckon that was in, was that last 34? What might have been on 35. Built a 2-room house, and I lived in that then, and out there, and we're still farming on Dad's place where he owned that, because his daddy had died, and they didn't sell the place. It was 4 boys and a girl. They just divided it up, and what Dad had his part of it. He bought a lot from Mr. John and Nivens. They built a 2-room house out, and I lived in that and was cropping. And of course, you heard people raising cane.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, but there's 2 kinds. That's where they fight and cuss and scratch and things. But the cane I was raising was what you feed to the stock or make stock of molasses. And that was out on Living Station Road up here.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you went to Louisville and started carpenting, did you live in Louisville or did you?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when did you finally come back to the country for good?
Well, then when they come back from Louisville back up here, bought the place out for with Billy. I give Billy a lot off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the place out there, and they've been back up here ever since.
And about when was that? When did you come back from Louisville the last time? What year was that, you reckon?
46.
46?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Now, BH was your oldest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, which one's next? Is it Billy or Pat?
Pat.
Pat and then Billy. So
Mm-hmm.
Billy's the youngest then.
Hmm? Yeah.
He's the youngest. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
BH was born the 14th of March, and he was 54 years and 9 months old when he died on the 14th. His mother died on the 14th.
Of December?
Huh?
Of December?
No, she died the 14th of November in 58 when she died.
I see.
Oh, you asked, did I tell you how old I was when we married?
No, you sure didn't. I don't think you did.
Well, no, I don't know, there's something else said.
Yeah, we got off on
No,
that.
I keep count of that, I've been so. 18th day of December 1932.
You got married on your birthday, huh?
Got married on my birthday. My older sister married, I think, on, I know she married on my birthday, and I believe that was the day I was 15, I think. I believe that's right.
So you got married on your 21st birthday then?
23rd.
23rd, let's see, 32. Yeah, that's right, 23rd. Yeah,
Yeah.
1909 to 32. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't count.
Well,
Been to
no,
college and
no,
everything.
but no, married. Of course, well, you see, your grandmother, she just kept asking me, and she asked me the 3rd time, and then when I said yes, asked me to marry, and then that's what I told her several times. She didn't say nothing. No, she never did ask me to marry. I asked her, and then she set the date then for us to marry, and it come out on my birthday.
Well, good.
Yeah. That's when she said
Now,
that.
how old was she? Did you tell me how old? Was she older or younger? She was younger than you, right?
Yeah.
She was 4 years younger than you, right? Let's see.
Don't,
She was,
not
Tell me.
hardly. You see, I was born 18th of December. Well, she was born the 16th day of January.
oh,
see
I
what I
see.
mean?
Yeah.
You
So
see,
really,
well-
you just a little over 3 years
Yeah.
older than she was.
Mhm. Yeah. About 3 years and a month. Yeah.
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 I'll say. So you were 23, or just had turned 23 on that day, and she was 19 and almost 20 then.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Well, see, all this I didn't know. You know, I didn't know any of this stuff. That's why I thought I'd come up here.
Well, I guess I'll turn this off now.